Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. My name is Dooley Godot. I am your weather forecaster and welcome to Elite Weather. And if you're checking us out today on YouTube or TikTok, you can leave your likes, comments, and you can also subscribe to both channels. I appreciate the support and you joining us today as we talk about today's weather forecast across the country. On this Tuesday afternoon, it's right about the noon hour right now that I'm recording this video. And we have a lot of summertime weather taking place today. Some severe weather across the Midwest, and we got a lot of heat across the West building in. A little bit of wet weather across parts of the Pacific Northwest we're going to talk about as well. We're going to take a look down at the tropics. See if anything is of interest or taking place out across the tropics on the Pacific and in the Atlantic Basin as well, in the Caribbean in particular. We're going to take a look at, and that includes the area around Florida, where we would look for any type of development this time of the year, even though it's only a few days into the 2024 hurricane season. So we're only a few days in. We're going to look at what looks interesting on the map that we might want to keep an eye on. So we're going to get started with our first map. And we're going to start off talking about the hot weather across the Southwest. So we have a very large area of high pressure, sort of a heat dome building in across the Rockies and the Four Corner states. This area of high pressure here is going to be the catalyst for some very warm weather across the desert Southwest and the western half of the United States. And it's also going to help to, with that atmospheric river activity that we've been seeing across Oregon and Washington as well. So we've been seeing that onshore flow, because if you're on the north side of this area of high pressure, that flow is going to come off of the ocean if you're to the north of the high, but where it sits. So that's going to make for a wet weather across the Pacific Northwest, but very hot weather across the Southwest and over the plains as well. We got to see this high amplitude ridge, so we're going to be seeing very warm weather, very humid weather down along the Gulf Coast and over the Midwest and the Central Plains. So hot and humid. I've definitely been noticing our humid. We had to start the AC today. I wanted to put that off as long as possible because that makes the electric bill go way up running the AC. So we do have to run it now because the highs today are expected to be in the mid 80s in my area, and the humidity is high as well. So we have those dew points in the upper 60s today. And we also have the risk for severe thunderstorms across the Central Plains and through the upper Midwest today, which includes Minnesota and Wisconsin. And we're going to take a look at all of that good stuff as we work our way through this video. But I want you to focus on this big ridge of high pressure, because this ridge here is going to be the catalyst in much of this week's weather activity. So we're going to talk about Las Vegas really quick. So the average first day of 110 degrees in Vegas is July 1st. The earliest 110 plus day on record is June 6th back in 2010. But we're probably going to come close to that, break that record as we head into your Thursday. We have a forecasted high of 111. So we're probably going to break that earliest 110 on record. Oh, excuse me. So we're probably going to break that 110 degree record here on June. What's today? The 4th. Tomorrow will be the 5th, and Thursday is the 6th. So we're going to probably tie that record today for that, or at least break it as far as the warmer temperature. But we're going to at least tie that record this year as well. So we're going to see a tied record across the Las Vegas area. All right. So here we are as we look at those temperatures, highs that we expect today across the western half of the United States. Woo, it's hot out there, guys. God dang, it's hot. Very, very hot. That dome of high pressure is compressing the air, so we got compressional heating out there across the Rockies and the Southwest. That 101 in Yuma, 104 in Phoenix today, 104 in Vegas. Temperatures in the 90s out there across Albuquerque along I-40, 93 for you folks. 100 along I-10 in El Paso, so triple digits across Texas. 91 up in Moab, Utah, 70s. We're looking at temperatures in the 80s up in Denver. We're even seeing those 80s and 90s work its way into the Dakotas, Wyoming. We're seeing even up into Montana, temperatures hitting the 80s today. So very, very warm weather out there. This just downright hot in some locations across the Southwest. Pretty miserable. At least you can say it's a dry heat, but that's BS because when it's that hot, I don't really care about the humidity. That just don't feel good. It's draining. It really drains your energy being out in the temperatures like that. So here we are as we see those temperatures across the West. Here is some forecast for select areas. So we're going to see a lot of triple digits through California and through parts of Arizona as well. So very hot through the deserts of California out there. Lancaster up there in the high desert, 104 degrees. It's going to be hot in Flagstaff. We're going to see Flagstaff is on I-40 and it's going to be 88 degrees. Flagstaff is about 4,000 feet, so it's not as hot up there because of the elevation. You don't see snow in the winters in Flagstaff. So, but it's pretty goddamn hot out across the western U.S. I probably need to raise my camera up higher because I can see my head getting a little bit close to the top of the screen there. So we have been talking about heat advisory. So we have excessive heat across the Southwest. So Tucson, Phoenix, all the way up to Vegas. We have heat advisories up in the Vegas area. Excessive heat warning across southwestern Arizona and the deserts of California. That also includes the Central Valley. And we're going to see a heat advisory over the western sections of the Central Valley. So very hot all through Central California as well as the inland desert. So Needles, Blythe, Victorville, Barstow, those areas, excessive heat. Going to see triple digit heat and down through Needles, I-10, so Blythe over the Phoenix, down to Tucson, 110 degree heat. So now Tucson is usually a few degrees cooler than Phoenix is, typically because they get more of an impact from the monsoon. But there's no sign yet of the monsoon, so we're not worried about that. The monsoon season typically starts in early July. About the 4th of July is about the beginning of the monsoon season with the afternoon thunderstorms out in the mountains and deserts of the Southwest. Here is a big picture of the stupidity with the heat across the Southwest half of the United States. And we're going to be seeing those temperatures in excess of 110 degrees down here over South Texas, along the Mexican border here. So Del Rio, Texas, Brownsville, Texas, over to El Paso, the 110 plus degrees. Temperatures in the upper 90s over the Mogollon Rim, Sholo, Pine Top, over I-40 across Albuquerque, Santa Fe, over to northern Texas, to Dallas, Oklahoma City, to Oklahoma. I-40 goes through Oklahoma, and we're going to be seeing those temperatures in the 90s to 100 degrees. So very hot weather across the western United States today. And in the Pacific Northwest, we have a lot of rain from the atmospheric river. So we do have a flood watch, a standing flood watch here across in the Cascade Mountain range of northern Washington and northern Oregon as well. So east of Portland, Seattle, around these areas, We've seen a lot of rain over the weekend and yesterday as well. So it's still a little bit of rainfall out there today, but lighter rainfall amounts, but heavier rain through the Cascades. So we'll see heavier rain here in the mountains today, and then we'll see rain again in the mountains just to the west of Phoenix. Not Phoenix, but Portland, Seattle again, Olympia. So we'll see rain showers here in the what's it called here? Over here in the northwest of Seattle here. The sound here. So I can't. My brain is kind of shut off right now because of the heat and humidity. All right, so we got thunderstorms to talk about today as well. Still no shortage of thunderstorms across the Midwest today, and we're going to be seeing those severe thunderstorms again from the upper Midwest. We're going to see hail and damaging wind is the primary threats today. Maybe some tornadoes further down to the south, parts of Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, northern Louisiana, into Missouri, and maybe Kansas. May see a tornado risk, but there are more damaging winds and large hail up here across the upper Midwest. So Minneapolis up to Green Bay, Chicago, and around Des Moines as well. Severe thunderstorms is going to be possible. But look at the warmth out here over the western plains. So the high plains of Colorado, New Mexico, it's very warm. But we do have a little bit of a dip in the jet stream out ahead of that big western ridge as that ridge begins to build in. But in between, we have a little bit of a dip. So that's going to make a spot for cooler weather. Part of the reason why we're going to see severe weather across the upper Midwest today, that interaction with the warmth and humidity and the cooler, dry air, that's going to make for a lot of winds as well, because we have an upper level area of low pressure across the upper Midwest and a high pressure coming in from the west. So that dynamic is going to make for very high winds across the northern tier of the country today. And we're going to see that potential for severe thunderstorms again tonight and today and tonight. We're going to see those severe thunderstorms. A marginal risk in the yellow, slight risk here in the red. So you have a little bit more scattered thunderstorms, a little bit more robust in the red. Maybe some of you folks might even pick up isolated tornado. And we're going to be seeing, again, those high winds I talked about a second ago over here across the upper Midwest and the northern plains and the northern Rockies. So Montana, the North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, parts of Wisconsin, and into Canada as well. We're going to see high winds as a result of that interaction between low pressure to the east over the Midwest here and that big amplified ridge moving over the Rockies. And we're going to see that storm system that's bringing that severe weather across the upper Midwest today. That system is going to be shifting to the east, and as it moves to the east, and as we get later in the week, we're going to see a lot of rain begin to fall and spread across the eastern half of the United States. And we're going to see that high pressure building in here across the upper Midwest, and that's going to bring in some warmth as we move in later in the week. We're going to dry things out a little bit, but we're going to see that rainfall and thunderstorms affect the eastern U.S. from the mid-Atlantic states through the Appalachian Mountains range here in the Ohio Valley and up into upstate New York as well. Come on, clicker. Okay. So from Thursday through Friday, we're going to see that rain spread a little bit further to the south. So we're going to see those thunderstorms moving into Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, northern Florida as well, North Carolina. We're going to see those showers. Showery weather here over Shenandoah, so West Virginia, Northern Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, showery. More showers, maybe some thunderstorms in the northeast. So Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Rhode Island and Massachusetts, you will have a round of showers and thunderstorms as we head into Friday. So we're going to see that slight risk, that marginal risk for severe thunderstorms along the western sides of into the Ohio Valley, down through the Tennessee Valley, and then across the Ozark areas as well. We're going to see the risk there for a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms, with the primary threat being damaging winds, and that's going to be winds in excess of 65 miles per hour, heavy downpours, and maybe an isolated tornado, but damaging winds and some hail is going to be the primary threat levels here across this region as we head into your Wednesday and Wednesday night. Again, as we see after that storm system moves through, so later in the week, Friday and into the weekend, it's going to feel a little bit cool out there for June. So we're going to see that low pressure bring that rainfall, the showers. The jet stream is going to have a trough over the east with that big ridge over the west. But a couple of days of cooler weather for the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest and into New England as well. We're going to see those temperatures drop a little bit. We're about 5 to 15 degrees below zero. It's not going to be really cold, but it's just a little bit cooler than typical for this time of the year. We're going to see those highs where we're seeing them in the 70s and 80s right now. We'll see some 60s pop in there for a day or two as we head the end of the week. So here is your current temperatures across the country right now. And we're seeing those temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Very warm out there across much of the eastern half of the country. Look at all those 70s and 80s in New England and the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic states. We're seeing those temperatures in the mid-80s along the Gulf Coast, mid-80s now down in Florida. For many of these areas, it's still going to get warmer, yet still, it's only the midday. So we haven't hit the warmest part of the day yet. We won't see those temperatures max out until about 5, 6 o'clock this evening, when those temperatures hit the final daytime high temperatures before the temperature begins to drop down and as we head into the evening time here. But look at them. We got some upper 80s to lower 90s out here across central and south Texas. The cool spot in the country here is across the Pacific Northwest in the northern Rockies, where we got some rain showers from the atmospheric river in that region. So thinking of the heat and humidity, this is our dew point, and we got a lot of humidity out there right now across the eastern half of the country. So the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and down a little bit less in the Northeast and New England, not quite up there, but if you're in the Midwest here and in the South and in Texas, southeastern Texas, dew points are in the 70s along the Gulf Coast. Look at the dew points in the 70s, 73 degree dew point in New Orleans. You see in those 70s, upper 60s in Atlanta, 70s in Florida. So you see how humid it is out there. So, and this also kind of gives you an idea of where your thunderstorms are going to be today as well. Those higher dew points are going to be areas where we have a greater threat to see some severe weather today. Here is our satellite map. So we got showers and thunderstorms down over southern Texas. So down across the south here, big thunderstorms just east of Dallas there, near Texarkana, southeastern Oklahoma, McAllister, Fort Smith, Arkansas, and so in Shreveport, Louisiana. Thunderstorms headed your way right now. And we also have some clouds and thunderstorms through central Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, and even into Minnesota. We got some activity coming out of the Rockies. That's going to be the source for our thunderstorms across Minnesota later today and tomorrow as well. We're going to see those severe thunderstorms moving across the upper Midwest. This is our National Weather Service alerts right now. We have lots of flood advisories here across the Mississippi River Valley because we've seen a lot of rain. Flood here. Heat advisories across the southwestern Texas. Heat related stuff. This is also heat related. Fire weather here and heat related stuff and and high wind stuff up here across the northern Rockies, through Montana, North Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho. Those advisories are for high winds. And in the Pacific Northwest, we have flood advisory. So that's a look at the advisories across America today. You look at those thunderstorms across the Ozarks area here. So you see all the lightning strikes from those thunderstorms east of Dallas. We got also some scattered thunderstorms here across the Ohio Valley, parts of Shenandoah. And we're going to see some thunderstorms up here in the upper Midwest, northern plains. Now these storms are going to be sweeping down toward the southeast and across the Twin Cities later this evening and into the evening hours. So we're going to see those showers and thunderstorms across those regions. So that is going to be it for the forecast. But here is for the quick look at the tropics. And this is the Caribbean Sea, the Caribbean. So we have a cluster of some showers and thunderstorms here north of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is right there. And we have this wave moving through with some showers and thunderstorms going on there. So nice little bit of rotation with all of these guys. So we'll keep an eye on that for possible maybe some development. Then we got another area of showers and thunderstorms in this region. And here's a look at what's going on further across the Pacific. So we got some intertropical convergence zone activity going on. Clusters of thunderstorms right here across off the coast of Nicaragua. And we have this stuff off of near Panama. So we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms. But nothing on the radar yet as far as tropical development. But we do have some thunderstorm activity right now and a tropical wave out there across the just to the north of the Caribbean region, moving across the Atlantic. And that'll do it for today's weather forecast. My name is Julie Godot. Thank you for watching me today. I'm hungry. It's about time for some lunch. So I'm gonna post this video so you guys can kind of know what to see the forecast for the remainder of this afternoon and into the week. We'll be back again tomorrow, probably later in the day tomorrow, because my work schedule is kind of will make it so that I'll have time to do it later in the day. So probably about 5 o'clock in the evening, Central Daylight Time, our video will come out tomorrow. So until then, have a good day. Leave your likes, comments, and subscribe, and bye-bye.